My name is Marcus. I'm in the Marine Corps, or was in the Marine Corps, um, and I served both in Iraq and Afghanistan. I joined the Marine Corps to do essentially one thing, and that was to go fight. I joined at the age of 17, just out of high school. I went home and I told my mom that I wanted to join the Marine Corps, that I was going to become a Marine. And so within the Native American cultures, I believe that, or actually see that not a lot of them give the initial support of being in the military. And a lot of that might come from the pass down of historic events that Native Americans and the U.S. government have had in the past. So to be a part of the Marine Corps in this day and age was definitely a big step for my family. I've done 3 deployments to Iraq, and so that was 2006, 2007, 2008. I did re-enlistment then, and I went to Marine Unit in Camp Pendleton and did a deployment to Korea and Afghanistan. On October 9th in 2010, I stepped on a 25-pound pressure-plated IED, and that resulted in the loss of my left leg above the knee. My life in every aspect had to be adapted. Now I was no longer, physically healthy. I was an amputee. There was a level of depression from when I initially got injured. And my thought process with depression was that it was because people just weren't strong enough to handle, trauma. And then I went through a depression and I could not help what my body was doing. I went to the mental health care professionals and I said, hey, this is what my daily lifestyle is looking like right now. And I need you to sort of help me figure out what I need to do to get out of this. For me, myself, it was difficult because I had never gone through therapy. I didn't know exactly what it was we were supposed to talk about. There was definitely a lot of denial about the level of stress that I was going through in dealing with a lot of the things that I had endured while being a Marine. I mean, it was almost like a full-time second job trying to go back and not necessarily undo what happened to myself, but to try to just put it in a different perspective that, I wasn't going to be able to change anything, but I could live with it and have that progression in life. It's been about 7 years since I lost my leg in Afghanistan. In that transitional time, even 7 years sounds like an ample amount of time, but 7 years to me has been a series of moments in my transition. So maintaining my marriage is definitely moments in my transition. Being Native American, there was sort of like this taboo mindset that Native Americans couldn't handle alcohol. There was a lot of people who, probably joke with me about it, like, oh, just Shirley's Native American, he can't handle drinking. But I think there were a lot of things that I wasn't being taught how to deal with internally about my experiences in the Marine Corps, and a lot of the deployments that I had done. Drinking sort of was just like an outlet for me that became too much of an outlet. I met my wife in the first year as a Marine. And when it came to drinking, she was like, hey, if we live together, if we start a family, there's a side of this that, needs to stop or, slow down in a bit so you could pay attention to fulfilling the needs of being a dad, the needs of being, a husband. So there was a little bit of struggle there, but, I went to the resources that were there and available and said, that I had an issue. Those programs were put in place to try to catch people before they got to the point where they can't take back, they couldn't take back some of the mistakes that they would make. As my lifestyle changed and I became more involved in my marriage, as I became more involved at being a dad, she wanted me to understand how to improve that as well. Marriage counseling was definitely a good thing. I don't push that on people like it's something they need to do, but it's a good resource. It's a good outlet. The change I think is it's a steady progress for myself. Um, I've gone back a number of times to just try to get tune-ups or get some realignments. All the stuff that I've was given before through mental health, through substance abuse programs, through marital counseling. It had meaning. It had purpose in my life. You actually go through some type of reconstruction that help you just take your experiences, your workplace, your marriage, your relationship with your kids, and the rest of your family and your friends. All of those experiences help you just become better at those things.